Hi, Mark from HP. I hope you're having a great virtual JuiceIT. Yes, it would have been great to see each other face to face, but unfortunately, it's just not the case. And as we saw last year with 2020, we've had that shift from office and mobile to being our home experts. And that shift is starting to be continued with people wanting to do more work from home, and that hybrid office of people in the office and people choosing to work from home. Now, at HP, we need to design products that still cater for those people that do wish to be in the office and have that office mobility between cafe, boardroom, their own desk. But we also need to be mindful of micro mobility, of people that are working from home that may need to shift from the lounge room where the kids want to watch TV to a room or a garage to get a piece of quiet to get into a meeting. But while they do that around that micro mobility, we still need to be mindful that you need the best audio experience for your collaboration. You need to be constantly connected and you need to be secure. And security is a massive part of the HP story, where we build resilient hardware, layers of protection on top, and then proactive and security and management tool sets to be able to facilitate your needs in that environment. When we start talking about resilient hardware, we're talking about our HP Essential Security with all of our Sure products, from Sure Start all the way to Sure Sense, Sure Click. This is protection from below the OS, in the OS, and above the OS. A new technology we've just introduced is HP Presence Aware. This is a proximity sensor that senses when you're in front of your device or when you're walking away from it.
Right now, the PC can detect that I'm in front of it and working. But if I move away, a presence detection sensor in the top bezel detects that I've moved away from my PC and I'm no longer working. It will dim the display, which can save power, and then it will lock it to protect my data and information. This keeps everything on my PC secure when I step away. However, in order to keep you productive, if I walk back up, it detects my presence and then uses Windows Hello to authenticate and log me back in.
I like two things about HP Presence Aware. One, it locks my device, meaning people can't get access to my notebook while I'm away. And two, it puts it into a low power state, meaning it gives me better battery life and it's better for the environment. Now, I've been a firm believer of HP SureView for many years now, and I'm lucky to got my hands here on the Dragonfly G2 with HP SureView Reflect. I always find it funny when I walk into a lounge or on a plane and the person next to me dims their display down to the lowest brightness, then sits there hunched over and squinting at it, trying to read what they're actually trying to do. Where I can walk in with HP SureView and have the full functionality of my device while they're unable to read what's on my screen. So as you can see, I've got a really wide viewing angle on this screen. But all I need to do is press F2, and as you go from the side, you can see it's a copper finish, meaning from the front, I can see crystal clear, but as soon as someone tries to look over my shoulder, you get a copper finish on the device, meaning I'm protected when I'm out and about. Our next is layers of protection with Sure Click and Sure Sense. Sure Click allows you to click with confidence. It protects you against bad attachments and malicious websites. Let me show you what SureClick does. Here we have an Office document, Word. We've opened up a CV from someone, and short clicks come up and say, this may contain malware. Do you want to keep it open or close? We're in protected viewing mode, but what SureClick has done has isolated this Word document into its own virtual machine, its own version of Word, its own version of Windows. And unfortunately, this document does have malicious activity, and it's trying to encrypt your hard drive, but it's only encrypting that virtual machine. When the big red screen of death pops up and says, hey, please pay X number of Bitcoins to this address, that is isolated with inside that virtual machine. Now I can pick that red screen up and move it around. It's still isolated. Now this works at the tab level with inside your internet browser or from a PDF Office document, giving you that extra level of protection. When I want to get rid of this, I close it down, it deletes the image, and away it goes. So that virtual machine's wiped from my machine, and so is that malicious activity. But what about that malware that's 0 day, that's brand new, first day on the job? Well, we have HP SureSense. SureSense is where we've had deep learning neural networks trained over 100 of millions of different types of malware samples to create an agent to protect your endpoint. What does all that mean? Basically, it catches those 0 day malwares 99% of the time in less than 20 milliseconds with 1% idle as it's loading. So how does this all work? Here I've got a folder with 50 0-day malware, unknown, first day on the job. As I unzip, they start to activate and run. And as you can see, as the unzip file unzips, you'll see that the threat summary is equally at the same time. Basically unzipped and catching those 0-day malware as they're starting to activate. All in the quarantine, all locked down, so it's not going to harm your device. This works in tandem with your antivirus. Now, what happens if you've got those Excel spreadsheets with macros that look like nasty viruses? Well, if it's a false positive, it sits in the quarantine. You can remove it from there and then exclude it from further reviews, so it's not having to go in and out of the quarantine all the time. Really cool tool. And these all come included with your essential security. We also then go into how do we go and protect our devices and manage our devices when we're in these diverse, dispersed hybrid offices. We have a whole range of client management solutions, including validation, HPI validated driver packs, client catalog, our management integration kit that is integrates straight into SCCM. It's one of Microsoft's only certified plugins for SCCM. It allows you to control and manage all of those Sure activities I spoke about before. We've even got client management script library to help you script all this. But the one I really like is HP Image Assistant. This is where I can get a stable image, do remote updates and fleet patching. And I've got my device here. This shows exactly what's on my device, and it gives me a green, yellow, red state. As you can see, I run this fairly often, so I'm in a good to fair state with both my hardware recommended updates as well as my security updates. It gives me all the details of where I'm at with my device and where I'm running my device. It will also allow me to go into recommendations on the device as well, where I'm able to go in and download the recommendations that HP is saying. You can also go in and see the advisories, bulletins, all for this device only. I can go in, look at the device drivers, installed software, security, firmware, deep diving into my specific device to find out what any issues might arise or what updates or security patches need to be run. Now, another component of working from home is all about being heard and being able to collaborate effectively. And we've got a whole heap of new technology. We've now incorporated anti-howling, so if you are in the office, you walk in, you get that reverb howling feedback. We'll mute our lines in less than 2 seconds. We've also incorporated more microphones into the device, so we have a device at the front of the microphone at the front of the device, so you're able to pick up if you're collaborating with anyone else. However, I'm able to change that to a personal mode where it'll use the microphones facing me to pick up my voice, but what it does, it keeps this active so it picks up all the world-facing noise and cancels out of the call. But the one I really like is the AI-based noise suppression.
This is a demo of HP's AI-based noise reduction. So I'm going to simulate a few noises for you that you might run into in your environment with the cancellation turned off. Then I'm going to turn it on, and so you can hear how it's actually removing that noise from your conference calls. I'm going to start with a chip bag. So as you can tell, that's pretty loud. That's how it sounds whenever I eat on my conference calls. And of course, I have a mechanical keyboard because I like to make noise. And it's very distracting during, a long conference call. We also all have barking dogs in our neighborhood. We probably have, dogs ourselves that like to just howl while we're on a conference call. So I'm going to have a simulated video for that. Yeah, so that's all pretty distracting to hear while you're on a conference call. Now I'm going to turn on the noise cancellation and let's hear how it's removing that from our environment. So this is with noise cancellation turned on. I'm going to do the bag again. As you can hear, it's doing a really good job of removing it from my environment, as well as reducing it while I'm talking. And now the keyboard. It's almost non-existent. And finally, the barking dog.
This is all done with our HP audio controller software, as well as our Bang & Olufsen sound. So I can come in and fully manipulate the audio levels to my device. I can activate the noise cancellation based on my speakers and my internal mic and switch them on. And here I can select between conference and personal mode. Conference still picks up everyone around me, personal picks up me, but cancels the world noise around me. But what is really nice is the dynamic audio. What I'm able to do here is I'm able to output to my speakers, auto detect between music, video, and voice, giving me the best sound quality for whatever I'm presenting to or listening to at that time. Very quick, very easy. Now, further from this, we have a whole range of additional security. So essential security is what's in the box. You're able to download it if you've got a HP product now. It's all there, ready to go. But we also have subscription services where it takes that level of security further for whatever type of business you have, be it SMB, medium to large enterprise, and that enterprise business for our SureClick enterprise. But the one I really like is HP Proactive Security. Gives you our Tech Pulse tools, gives you a wide range of solutions. It really gives you the best variety to keep your devices secure and ready to go.
Today, protecting and securing your devices is one of the most important things you can do. According to a 2020 report from the Ponemon Institute, the preeminent research center dedicated to privacy, data protection, and information security policy, in the past 2 years, 68% of companies have experienced one or more endpoint attacks that compromised their data assets or IT infrastructures. The company's traditional antivirus products missed more than 60% of those attacks. This is where HP Proactive Security can help. Using advanced isolation security, coupled with AI-based deep learning anti-malware protection, and insights gained through analysis of detailed security intelligence reports accessed from the HP TechPulse portal. TechPulse is the underlying platform providing the analytics for all HP service offerings, including HP Proactive Management, HP Proactive Security, and HP Active Care. Insights and analytics vary by service offering. Now, let's log into the HP TechPulse portal and look at the powerful reporting capabilities built into HP Proactive Security. Upon connecting to the portal, you can immediately see the TechPulse dashboard with widgets containing summary information of the protection status of this company's devices from both HP SureClick Advanced and HP SureSense Advanced. If you want to learn more about the prevented threats, you can drill down to the Device Protection Details page. Returning to the dashboard, go to the menu on the left side of the screen and select Incidents. Set the filter on the Type column to Security, and for the subtype, select SureClick, Client Disabled, SureClick, Threat Prevented, SureSense, Client Disabled, and SureSense, Threat Prevented. You can immediately see a summary of all the malware infection incidents automatically prevented by HP Proactive Security. Clicking on any one of the incident IDs in the left-hand column opens the Incident Details page. Incidents are captured by HP TechPulse within minutes of an attack. Each incident includes a detailed record of the intrusion, showing the source and how the endpoint was protected from the threat. On which device, the resource that triggered the event, the severity, and information about the device. Now, let's look at the HP Proactive Security reports and get the details of what's happening across the fleet. First, using the menu, navigate to the Reports section. Click on the filter, then scroll down and select both HP SureClick Advanced Security and HP SureSense Advanced Security. On the Reports page, hover over the SureSense report and then click Run Report. The SureSense report is a 4-page report that includes multiple charts. The Device page shows the status of all the devices in the fleet as protected, unprotected, or not installed. A breakdown by operating system, any devices that disabled their protection, and for how long. Hovering over either chart displays the number of devices in each category. Clicking on a section in either chart takes you directly to the Device Protection Details page for that category. On this page, you can see details about each of the devices, when they were last seen by HP TechPulse, their protection status, the policy applied, and more. The Threats page shows a breakdown of the threats prevented by severity and classification, as well as the file type containing the malware. Drilling down on any of the charts takes you directly to the Event and File Protection Details page. Threat severity is classified from very high all the way down to low. Threats by deep classification shows the type of threat, ransomware, spyware, dropper, PUA, or potentially unwanted application, worm, virus, etc. Looking at the Top Malicious Files by Type chart, you can see where the threats originate from: Office files, PDFs, RAR zip archives, Macho files, portable executive files, etc. The Threats page also shows the devices most at risk and threats prevented over time. The Prevented Threats Over Time chart is useful for quickly identifying increased activity. By clicking on any point in this chart, you can go directly to the Event and File Protection Details page. On the left is information about each device. To the right, you can see when the threat occurred, how it was classified both by severity and type, the resource involved, and the file hash, when the device was last seen, and what response action was taken. Now, let's return to the Reports tab and run the HP SureClick Advanced Security report. Conceptually, this report is similar to the SureSense report. It also has 4 pages for devices, threats, device protection details, and threat protection details. The Devices page has 3 charts. The Client Status chart shows the status of the isolation client as it covers the fleet. The Disabled Clients chart shows if there are any devices on which HP SureClick Advanced has been disabled and for how long it has been disabled. If there are no disabled clients, there is no data to display. The third chart shows the devices with the highest number of threats prevented, or the devices most impacted by the threats. The Threats page has 2 charts: a breakdown of threats from the major threat vectors like Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint and Adobe PDF, and a chart showing threats over time. The Device Protection Details page shows the protection status details for each device in the fleet. This includes basic information about the device, whether it is protected or not, the reason, the disabled date, the total number of threats that have occurred, and management actions. If there are any actions to be taken, clicking on the 3 dots to the right reveals an action menu. Selecting an action item in the menu takes you to a knowledge base page with a full description of the action. Sometimes the action is as simple as rebooting the device. Other times it requires an administrator or an HP security expert to resolve. Finally, the Threat Protection Details tab shows basic information about the device, the file containing the threat, the application used to deliver the threat, and the affected resource. For each threat, there is a View Details link that takes you to a complete breakdown of the threat. For example, this threat is the WannaCry ransomware malware contained in a Microsoft Word document. You can see the entire MITRE attack details and a detailed process interaction graph. The Graph tab displays a detailed view of every step in the delivery of the malware. The ability of HP SureClick Advanced to isolate the malware allows us to capture the entire delivery, the primary payload, and any subsequent payloads that may be delivered as the malware completes its task. If you click through the tabs, you can see the files that were involved in the delivery, a full behavioral analysis, as well as a complete network analysis of that delivery. With the integration of HP TechPulse, all of this is available by simply clicking a link. The HP Proactive Security Demo environment is very robust. It is designed to give you access to all the available security reports, pre-populated with managed devices and curated incidents created by the HP security team for easy understanding and visibility. It's a powerful tool for you to use for demonstrating the capabilities of HP Proactive Security and TechPulse to your customers. That's the power of HP TechPulse. Thank you for watching.
I'd like to thank everyone for listening to my presentation. I hope this has been beneficial. Please, if you have any questions, please reach out to your HP representative or your Data3 representative, or ask a question in the chat. We're here to help you. So thank you very much. Hopefully next year we get to see you all. Have a great JuiceIT. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day. Bye.